morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 12th, 2021. And this is the last full week of Aries season. Hey, Sarah. And, let's talk about that and also talk about this weather. But first, let's talk about an April card that keeps coming up. I don't have it in front of me right now, but you'll remember. It was the frog. It was the frog card, and it was part of the April forecast. And the frog card was asking us to clear, to clear, to clear. And what does that mean for you? It might mean your closet. It might mean your bedroom. It might mean people in your life who are past their expiration date, stale energy inside of your body. I don't know, but the energy wants to move. And if you are feeling that there's places in your life that need a little bit of uncluttering, a little bit of organization, or just a nice sweep, let's do that this week. Today doesn't really feel like a sweepy day. I'll give you that because it is a little bit, I don't know, it's nap-like, but this is the week to do that, and I'll tell you why. From Pisces season into Aries season, we've been really working on doing a system of processing that's going to get us ready for some serious building in Taurus season. In order to do that, our foundations really need to be solid. In order for our foundations to be solid, we have to do the inner work. The inner work is all about understanding your emotions, accepting your emotions, integrating your emotions so that then you can release what you are now done with, okay? So moving through Aries season has been a lot of like little short bursts of energy for some of us, and others are fire all the way, but I haven't been like that. But it's this steady movement towards your truest self, okay? And that is really important. It's really important because when we move into Taurus season, all of those things that you've been working on, all of the realizations that you had, all of the moving into your own sovereignty and self, it's all going to be a big deal in Taurus season when we start actually taking all of these things and building upon them, integrating and implementing so that you can actually start creating new structures and containers for your life in this new energy. It doesn't do anymore to build things that are anchored in old energy. And you can choose now where you're going to anchor your things. So a lot of you have been doing big work when it comes to your inner child. A lot of you have been doing big work when it comes to just knowing what you want. Isn't that sometimes the hardest question to answer? People love to ask me that, like, in my life, whenever I'm having some sort of heated argument with like a lover or somebody, they always want to ask me that question, just like the Notebook. What do you want? What do you want? And when somebody says that to me and I'm all keyed up, the last thing I know is what I want. And in fact, when I sit down in a calmer state, I don't know what I want. And that has always been a problem, because if you don't know what you want, how on earth can you communicate that to anybody? How? You cannot. And what's worse is if you have a similar thing like I do, you expect other people to just kind of intuit what you want, even though you don't even really know what it is. You're hoping that they land on it, so then maybe you'll know too. So that's no good anymore. That doesn't work. Moving into this new energy, that kind of stuff is going to get you into more stuff that you don't really want to be involved in anymore. Or maybe you do, but I'm thinking you don't. So this has been a couple months of really starting to understand who you are and what you want. And also giving yourself space to understand that what you want can always change. Always change. Okay? You don't need to pick one thing and then be that for the end of time. But you do need to pick something every day so that you know, right? So this last week of Aries season, because we move into Taurus season, I believe on the 20th, which is next Tuesday. Wait, hold on. I want to read this first. Kirsten says, it makes me very angry when people expect me to know what I want because it always depends on a hell of a lot of other factors. Yes. And let's address that before I move into what I was going to say. Kirsten's saying it makes her very angry when people expect me to know what I want because it always depends on a lot of other factors. Other people wanting you to know what you want is not the point here. You need to know what you want. Other people asking what you want in that kind of an energy is usually more indicative of how can you be in a situation with them that works for them too, right? Because usually there's something going on here. They don't know how to interface with you or you don't know how to interface with them. And it's very situational and it's usually relational as well. But what I'm talking about is deep down inside. When you wake up in the morning, do you have an idea of who you are? And if you have an idea of who you are, what you want will come naturally. That will be an easy thing to know from day to day to day because you're constantly coming back to an honest point right here in your heart center. We get lost in what we want by branching off, right? Branching off and saying, okay, I'm moving away from my heart center as I accommodate this person's projected needs and desires and this person's projected needs and desires. And I'm thinking I don't want to upset this person. I'm fearful of rocking this boat, so I'm twisting myself around. That gets you further and further away from your heart center and from your own truth. So what I'm really talking about when I say, who are you? What do you want? How do you pull it all back in and be here in this present moment and feel good with yourself? And when you're there, anything you do from that location is going to be in alignment with you because you don't have a choice but to be in alignment with yourself. Yesterday, we finished up 6 weeks of the abundance activation, which I'm really sad about because that's been the most wonderful Sunday afternoon spend of my life, right? It's been really, really awesome. But something we talked about yesterday was about manifestation, creation energy, and how so many of us will have layers of desires, right? So we have the front-facing desire, the thing that we say we want, especially when you're doing manifestation work, right? You're like, I want to manifest this. You say that because that's what you think you want, right? But there's so many layers beneath that that may not align with it at all. So you can say, I'm sick of my job. I want to manifest a new job. That sounds great, right? It makes total sense. Why wouldn't you want to do that? But underneath that ask, you have a layer that says, I don't honestly feel that I was good enough for the job I have now. So why would I be good enough for a better job? I don't deserve that. There's another voice underneath that that's maybe from a parent way back in the day that says, you should just be grateful that you have a job. Some people don't have jobs. You should just be grateful that you get to work from home. Some people don't have that option. And then it goes on and on and on and on. So where at the top you're saying, I want a new job, the whole rest of you is giving you conflicting information, creating dissonance within your field. So this is an example of you not being in alignment with what you say you want, right? So in order to get yourself in alignment, you just have to start being honest, right? And so it's saying, yeah, I'm unhappy in my job, but the truth of the matter is, at this current moment, I don't feel worthy of a new job. And that is honesty. And it sucks to hear. But when you're honest, you break apart the bullshit. You break the bullshit off. And then you can actually do something about it, right? Because it's real. It's true. It's honest. And it's your alignment. And when you are in alignment with yourself, that's how you can make movements into different directions. So consider that as you move forward into this week. How can you make choices every day that are in alignment with you? What are you going to choose to do today that actually is in alignment with your own self and not in your, scattered all over the place kind of alignment? So I hope that makes sense for you guys. So listen. Last week of Aries season, last week of this fire, and we move into earth, we move into bull season, right? And this means that it's time for you to use that fire to really get to the root of this, to align all of yourselves, to align all of yourselves, and then get ready for what's happening at the end of the month, because it's moving into physical reality. All of the things are moving into physical reality. It's your body, it's your life, it's your home, it's what you're creating. It's all coming. And so we need to be ready for that. Lisa's asking, what if you feel you're worthy of a new job? Then that's good. You start looking for one, right? Like, if you want a new job, you don't just put in your order with the universe, right? And say, oop, I hope a new job comes. No, you say, okay, this is what I want. I want a new job, and this is how I want to feel at my new job. And I go through this kind of an exercise all the time in private readings and in abundance or any type of activations that I do. We go through this exercise with you guys. But the idea is getting in touch with the feeling that you want from the new, and then putting that out there and then taking action steps towards it. So if you want to talk about that, I have 2 readings left for this week. I don't remember what times, but it's a Tuesday and a Thursday. So you can use the link in my profile. There's 2 left. Okay, so moving through this week, I feel like I'm very disjointed this morning, but it's very important to know who you are and what you want. And it's not physical things right now, okay? This is, what do you want to feel? Who are you? What do you stand for? And how do you make choices every day that put you back into your heart center? I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, but here's how I've been feeling the past week. I feel a lot of love and a lot of real empathy for those around me. At the same time, I feel more love and empathy for myself than I ever have before, to the point where I have started to create more boundaries that feel good to me. And I no longer feel guilty about them. I no longer feel guilty about saying I'm in a mood to be alone today, so unfortunately my plans are canceled. I am not in a place anymore where I am going to do something that I don't feel like doing just because I don't want to run the risk of hurting somebody's feelings. Because the truth of the matter is, if I'm showing up with whack energy, do you want to be around me anyway? But that's besides the point. I'm feeling like I love myself in a whole new way. And through that feeling, I also feel kind of floaty and disconnected in ways, but I feel like I'm moving through things and just kind of old Sarah stuff coming up, and feeling like as I release and integrate those things, as I do both of those things, I am more me than I have ever been. And I feel calmer. I feel stabilized. I feel grounded. And I haven't been very grounded feeling in a long time. So feeling grounded in myself has been a game changer in the past week or so, because it's made me realize that so many of the things that have haunted me or tortured me or made me feel less than have been other people's opinions that I actually don't share. But because I wasn't sure of who I am, their opinions made a difference, because there was always that thought that maybe it's true. But now that I know who I am, it doesn't really matter what anybody else's opinion of me is, because it can't change how I feel about myself. It can't change my opinion of me. I know that if I am making my decisions from my heart center, that I'll be fine. I know that I will be led through, and it will be absolutely as it's meant to be. And I know that anybody who doesn't want to walk alongside me on that journey doesn't need to, and that is okay. In fact, it's nice to know that. It's nice to know who can walk with you on this journey right now and who can't. Because the people who can walk with you, who can hang with you during this, those are the ones who are also doing their work. Those are the ones who are also saying, I want to stay in my heart center. I want to uplift myself and love myself too. And through me respecting my own self, I can respect you, because I know how to do that, right? So it is amazing, and it changes how everything works around you because you stop caring so much about the whirlwinds of bullshit that are happening everywhere that we always get so caught up in. It's done, right? That game is so done. It's so over with. And as you start to realize that and sink into your own self and start to fortify that relationship and say, I actually really like me. I really like me a lot. And I'm going to stand up for me. And I'm going to do things that make me happy. Everything gets sorted, right? All of the energy that does not align with you loving yourself shows itself out as long as you don't reach out and grab it and try to pull it back, okay? And sometimes it is hard to allow that, to allow yourself to be in that place of self-love, right? But it's a worthy reach. It's a worthy trust fall. It is a worthy thing to move into because it feels so much better. And it's not like we ever stop learning and growing, right? It's not like you learn one revolutionary concept and your life is changed forever and now you're done. No, we came here to experience all of the things. And one of the main things we came here to experience on this planet is relationship, as only humans can do, right? Connection between each other. And we are relearning how to have that connection without all of the separations that we used to, which means that we are relearning how to know each other. And in order to do that, we are relearning how to know ourselves. It's such a big deal. Relationships, connection between humans, it is the most beautiful and heartbreaking thing that we can do on this earth. And it is equally awesome on both ends, right? I was talking to somebody the other day about heartache and heartbreak and how hard it is to lose somebody that you love. And one of the things that came through in that conversation was that when you have that heartache, when you have that pain of losing somebody that you've loved so deeply, it's almost like an interesting way to say this, but it was like a badge of honor, right? Because it is a testimony to how deeply you loved that person and how amazing your connection was. And even though you have full understanding that that person is not gone, that their spirit and essence lives on forever and they're off on their new adventure and possibly communicating with you now, you still have that feel, right? Like you miss be interfacing with them on a physical plane. That's why relationships are so precious and so amazing, because when we are both in physical bodies on the plane at the same time, it is magical to make that connection. So honoring that with each other and honoring it with ourselves and starting to build from that place is going to help us understand what it looks like to live in a new earth society where we value relationship above all else and we value our relationship with ourselves first, because that's where you learn it. People who respect themselves and love themselves naturally and organically do not disrespect other people. They do not purposely hurt other people or not purposely hurt other people, because when you're rooted in yourself and you love yourself, you just don't do that. It's not in your wheelhouse. So this is where we have to focus because it sorts everything out. It's a ripple effect, right? So that is what I have for you today. I'm going to pull a card from the Fairy Forest deck, and a reminder, if you would like to tap into New Earth relationships, I have a 3-session activation coming up at the end of the month, all about relationships, and not just romantic ones, but obviously romantic ones as well. Relationships with your family, relationships with yourself, relationships with romantic partners, and friendships. We're going to touch base on all of them. It's like a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Saturday. You don't have to be live, but it's fun to be live. So if you're interested, you can find the link to that in my profile thing. Let's see what the fairies have to say on this Monday. It's number 34, and it is the Green Man. It's perfect for the season. And I'll read that for you. Again, it's number 34 if you're checking the numbers. Initiative, fertilization, and action. Not so long ago, all was quiet, dark, and cold, but something has changed, and it will manifest into your world in significant ways, through you and all around you. This is a time of renewal, a time of new beginnings and connections for you. Your energy will be extending itself easily, and you will fall in love with the new world you are creating. This is a time for you to actively pursue what it is you wish to create in your life, and to acknowledge the presence of the powerful new energies all about you. Each day will bring these changes, and it is as if life force itself is surging through you, and every cell radiates this bright, strong, fierce new energy. To be effective, this energy must be directed, not tamed, but given places to flow into, and thus you must choose and shape the energies you are experiencing. Nature and its energies shall pour through you when this card comes forth, and it is necessary for you to quickly begin to shape these forces in a meaningful way. This is also a time when you are no longer seeing sharp distinctions between what is outside of yourself and what is within. You feel linked, connected to a great part of natural magical whole, and this empowers you into brave, open-hearted action. Go forward and thrive. I love it. I will put this in my Instagram stories and post it in the Facebook group. It is the Green Man. I'm sending you guys a lot of love. I hope you have an amazing Monday. Again, if you are interested in a private reading, I have 2 left for the week, one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. You can follow the link. Restoration members, you get 10% off using your coupon code. I will see you on Wednesday morning for the midweek update. If you need anything, if you have any questions that you would like for me to talk about during a live video, go ahead and send them. Send an email, send a DM, whatever you want to do, and I will talk about those things, okay? Sending you guys lots of love. If you have enjoyed this broadcast, please share with your friends, and I'll see you Wednesday. Mwah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.